Hey everybody, here is Friday, so we're going to do our Fun Fact Friday video. Um, I was doing a little reading and ran across some different words and stuff, and to me, I like looking this stuff up, so I'm going to talk to you all about it. In Isaiah chapter 13, verse 21, it says, "But wild beasts of the desert shall be there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there." Okay, the two words I looked up in this one was doleful and satires. Now, in contemporary English, the word satire usually refers to a mythical creature. In Greek, satyr was a creature of the hills and woods. Says it would have been half man and half animal. I thought that was awful interesting. And doleful, a doleful creature, was a howling creature. It says the word doleful only occurs in this verse in the Bible. You know, you don't know what's out there. God has created us, and He's created these animals, and it falls into things that, the half's never been told. Now, in 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 3, cracknels is the word I got looking up here. It says, "And take with thee 10 loaves," which would have been bread, "and cracknels, and a cruse with honey, and go to him. He shall tell thee what shall become of the child." Now, cracknels would have been hard, brittle cakes. And of course, a cruse, and sometimes you'll see it called a flagon. It was a bottle, flask, or jug for holding liquids. And then another word that kind of interested me was handbreadth. In Exodus chapter 25, verse 25, it says, "And thou shalt make unto it a border of an handbreadth round about, and thou shalt make a golden crown to the border thereof round about." A handbreadth would have been palm width, about 4 inches. So I guess that's why they called it a handbreadth, because they used their hand to measure. Now, women in the Bible. It talks about a woman named Jael. I wouldn't know how to pronounce it, I guess. Jael. She was Heber's wife. She killed Sisera to deliver Israel from the troops of King Jabin. In Judges chapter 4, verses 17 through 23, it says, "Howbeit Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, for there was peace between Jabin the king of Hazor and the house of Heber the Kenite." Okay. "And Jael went out to meet Sisera, and said unto him, Turn in, my lord, friend to me, fear not. And when he had turned in unto her the tent, she covered him with a mantle. And he said unto her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And she opened a bottle of milk, and gave him drink, and covered him. Again he said unto her, Stand in the door of the tent, and it shall be, when any man doeth come and inquire of thee, and say, Is there any man here? Thou shalt say, No." Okay. "Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent, and took a hammer in her hand, and went softly unto him, and smote the nail into his temples, and fastened it into the ground, for he was fast asleep and weary, so he died. And behold, as Barak pursued Sisera, Jael came out to meet him, and said unto him, Come, and I will shew thee the man whom thou seekest. And when he came in to her tent, behold, Sisera lay dead, and the nail was in his temples. So God subdued on that day Jabin the king of Canaan before the children of Israel." Now, I thought that was pretty neat. A story about a woman in the Bible. Okay, and next it talks about Diana. Let's see. I've tried marking these to make it a little easier on myself, and where you all don't have to wait that long for me to look this stuff up. Now, it says Diana was a Roman goddess, the Artemis of the Greeks. In Acts chapter 19, verses 24 through 28, it says, "For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen, whom he called together with the workmen of like occupation. and said, Sirs, you know that by this craft we have our wealth. Moreover, ye see and hear that not alone at Ephesus, but almost throughout all Asia, this Paul hath persuaded and turned away much people, saying they be no gods which are made with hands. Okay. So that only this our craft is in danger to be set at naught, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worshipped. And when they heard these sayings, they were full of wrath, and cried out, saying, Great is Diana of the Ephesians. Okay, and then our next woman for the week is Herodias. Now you'll all know who this is here in just a second. We all should know her. She was a granddaughter of Herod. She was Philip's wife. She requested the head of John the Baptist. In Matthew chapter 14, verses 3 through 14, it says, For Herod had laid hold on his, For Herod laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, It is not lawful for thee to have her. And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him a prophet. But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John the Baptist's head in a charger. And the king was sorry, nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given to her. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison. And his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother. And his disciples came and took up the body and buried it, and went and told Jesus. When Jesus heard of it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. And when the people had heard thereof, they followed him on foot out of the cities. And Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude, and was moved with compassion toward them, and he healed their sick. That was our women for this week. They were interesting, I'll give them that. And evil. Let's see. Do you know it says salt is mentioned more than 30 times in the Bible? And two people were sold in the Bible for a few shekels of silver. Do you know who they were? Jesus and Joseph. Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus. Now this sum of money was considered to be the equivalent of the price of a slave then. In Matthew 26, verses 14 through 16, it says, The one of the 12, which would have been the 12 disciples, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests and said unto them, What will ye give me, and I will deliver him unto you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that time he sought opportunity to betray Jesus. And then Joseph. Remember we talked about Joseph a few weeks ago. He was sold to the midnight merchants by his brothers. Well, they sold him for 20 shekels of silver. And I found one plant this week, a mandrake. It's in Genesis chapter 30, verse 14. It says, And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. There's another woman's name. Give me, I pray thee, of thy sons mandrakes. Now it says this plant consists of several large, wrinkled, dark green leaves that lie flat upon the ground, forming a rosette. Okay, and then I got another book here that's kind of the Amazing Bible Fact Book. And it talks about mandrakes in this book. It says you've probably seen mandrakes mentioned in some books, but they're in the Bible too. It says mandrakes belong to the nightshade family and are related to potatoes and tomatoes. The plant grew well in the lands of the Bible and was often associated with magic. A unique and somewhat eerie characteristic of the plant is that it resembles the human form. Mandrakes have a very distinctive smell and are to this day considered a delicacy in parts of the world. In ancient world, people believed the roots of the mandrake, also known as love flowers, helped women to have babies. They were used for fertility. That's why Rachel, who did not have any children, was jealous when Leah's son Reuben gave his mother some mandrakes. Leah at the time already had given birth to 4 sons, it says. So I thought that was another little fun fact, fun piece of information. I hope you all enjoyed this week's fun facts. I always enjoy looking over them. I guess this is I like doing our lesson, but I love our Fun Fact Friday. I will be back Tuesday with our lesson video. And of course, again next Friday with our Fun Fact video. I am going to do something a little different in December. I'm going to start, I know it's going to be a lot, but I'm going to start on December 1st. And I'm going to read 1 chapter out of Luke every day for a month. Well, not for a whole month. It'll start on the 1st and the last chapter will be on the 24th. It will give us an account of Jesus from, his birth to the end of his life, and it'll help all of us to understand why we celebrate Christmas. So that's something I'm going to do in the month of December. I'm going to start December 1st, and I'm going to post a video every day reading a chapter of Luke. So there won't be no regular Tuesday lesson, and there won't be no regular Friday lesson, because there's going to be a video uploaded every day. And then I will, from the 25th until I'll probably take off the rest of December that month, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sorry for rambling. I love you all. You have a safe weekend. I will see y'all again Tuesday. Bye.